Space, the final frontier.
This is the podcast, State of the Federation.
Its continuing mission.
To preview strange new ships.
To seek out new builds and new combinations.
To boldly go where no show has gone before.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Federation, and welcome to another State of the Federation. We are back after our big, gigantic State of the Game episode, and we're here to sit back, relax, and go over a couple new fun ships. And I had hoped that my dropped frame issue was getting, resolved, but apparently that was not the case. Makes me sad. But, besides that, we've got Joseph. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Very well. We can put crew on bioships now. Easier than ever, so how can I complain?
Sounds like a lot of fun. You will notice the big blank spot over to my left. Right? My left. Reserved for Tucker. He is on his way, and he should be joining us not too late into the broadcast. But before that, getting here in and on time and straight to you from Starbase, Florida. K31 Alpha. That sounds like a good number, right? We don't make up technobabble here in Star Trek world.
And some kind of subspace conduit to get to Guelph, Ontario as well.
Exactly.
We're all over the place. We're all over the quadrant.
Wormholes. It's always the best part. Alright, so today we have a couple previews. We're going to be looking over the Tong. We're going to be going over the Bellerophon prize that got spoiled a little early. And how to win a Bellerophon prize. We'll be talking about, it's not a QOP, it's just a regular OP, the Year of Hell. And it was quite a year of hell. Let's see. I never remember how to pronounce your name. But greetings, sir, in the chat. Autark Typhon? Maybe? That sounds like a StarCrafty thing. But, alright, ready to get the preview started?
I'm ready and rolling.
Not Bellerophon. Give me the Tong! Hello, Tong? Yeah. Alright, I'm just going to go with whatever pronunciation I go with, and that's going to be good, because it's already... It's always weird if I just keep trying to correct myself. Scissor Fury, what's up? We've got the I.K.S. Tong, 24 points, a Katinga class, 4143, got 1 tech, 2 weapon, 1 crew. When attacking with a ship with your primary weapon that has a larger hull value and or primary weapon value than your ship, gain +1 attack die. I kind of like Katingas for the fact that they actually have a rear arc. If you're going to take Klingons, I think you should have a rear arc for some kind of weapon in the first place. But the upgrade from the generic version for 2 points basically has +1 attack. So you're not really getting a what's the word I'm looking for? You're not really getting a discount of any sort. Like I had the same issue with the Karaga. If you're going to be cloaked all the time, you're paying 2 points for the extra shield, but really the ship ability is giving you a stat and it's somewhere else than the shield because you're cloaked all the time. What do you think?
Yeah, that's 3 shields on cloaking ships it's always a frustration. Functional 5 attack power ships at 24 points. We have a few options, but this does some things that they don't, which is cloak. So really it's going to stack up against probably the ISS Enterprise and the Coronac, I guess, or a generic Keldon class. So there could be times where you want cloak, and you'd play it over those ships. I don't think it's hard to get that +1 attack die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The
but the
upgrade
4 hull
bars-
is also nice for the for its ability to. Sorry, I got a little bit of echo from you. For its ability to host fighters, which isn't bad, because the Katingas were one of the ships I was looking at when I was considering 2-ship, 2-fighter builds.
Right. They're not the most maneuverable. You like that rear arc because of the come-abouts, but they're not bad at maneuvering, and they're certainly far better at maneuvering than Keldons, which is what I often see with two fighters.
And of course, everyone's favorite action of working with sensor echo is always a good one. Let's see, Dr. Nickett, Bane of Borg, welcome to the show. Pinecone, I'm down in Orlando, so I'm not quite sure how far you are from me. What do we got here? So, the Tong, not bad. Take it over the generic. I'm not sure what the generic has, but I'm assuming it's going to be a tech, weapon, and crew.
I'm not sure either, but yeah, I'd have to think so.
Is this ability worth 2 points? I mean, basically puts it up there with the Vorcho, which was also pretty good. Shame it only works with your primary weapon.
Yeah, it would be excellent otherwise. Anything that gives extra attack dice to secondary weapons is normally pretty good. I mean, would you ever hesitate? Well, let me put it this way. I didn't hesitate to have Rebellion on a bioship, and I could almost always get that off, so I think this ability is going to get off pretty commonly.
I could also see this being useful if you're taking maybe Terrace with some Romulan hijackers, because then you can shoot your primary weapon in any direction, and you got Romulan hijackers for even more attack dice.
Yeah, that's actually interesting.
You don't have a lot of slots for the crew to toss out the airlock, but we could work with other cards in this pack to help with that.
Yeah.
All right, so continuing, we've got Captain Katemok, 3-point Klingon captain, 5 skill, comes with a talent. All of your Klingon upgrades cost -1 squadron point. The faction penalty is doubled for any non-Klingon upgrades assigned to your ship. Katemok may only field Klingon talent upgrades. This is the faction purist Klingon. This is the Klingons. Kronos is for Klingons. Political agenda. I don't know.
Well, they've been picking up steam in the what's the Klingon government called?
The High Council?
See, yeah, the High Council. They've been picking up steam in the High Council. I was worried we were going to need Tucker to answer that question, but
oh, come on, we're plenty big nerds without him.
He's the captains that give -1 are always pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Klingon Calvin Hudson in some ways too. There aren't a lot of great Klingon upgrades, I guess, but I don't know. You stick a couple more on a ship because of the points he gives you, and you might be able to get something. I always found that was the case with Calvin Hudson, that the sum was greater than the whole was greater than the sum of the parts.
Mm-hmm. Load up enough pieces on there. Sorry, are you on like a speaker or something? Because I keep getting feedback of my voice from your side.
I just have my normal setup. I'm not sure.
Because it sounds like my voice is triggering your microphone to transmit.
Oh, okay. Maybe I have it a little too close to the computer or something.
We can fix that. Unless you got headphones. I'll send you mine.
Is this better? Or are you still getting feedback on your voice?
Let me talk real loud for a second. I love talking real loud. Nah, that sounds good. We know me. I'm good at being loud, right? All right, but Katemok, fit a bunch of things on your Klingon ship. I just don't really see a lot of multiple Klingon things you will need, which is kind of, unless you're trying to go for like try to stack the torpedoes here that are coming up later, and we'll look into that when we get to them. But
right. He would also be if you had a few Klingon upgrades, and you needed an elite talent slot on a ship before a shuttle came on with a higher captain. He might, maybe only have 2 Klingon upgrades or 3 Klingon upgrades in your dreadnought, but you start them on that ship and get the minuses.
That'd be cool.
Or even just pay for your elite talent slot.
One second. Had a connection problem there. Sorry guys, it seems my connection is being a little spotty again, but hey, I might have that reconnection might have just fixed all of the dropped frame issues, so that would make me very super happy. So, yeah, I could see you making a kind of dreadnought with this, but there's not a lot of slots on a lot of the Klingon ships, unfortunately. So he'd only be good for making a Klingon dreadnought.
That's well, he can go on other ships though, right?
You can go on other ships. Oh, I guess you can, yeah.
So I guess you
But at that point, it could work. But at that point, like, you're probably paying faction penalties for all his Klingon upgrades anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you'd be just as good off with Khan or Hudson or something.
Yeah, it's no great shakes. That's for sure. But uses, and there might be a Klingon ship out there that gets over the hump. There are some good Klingon upgrades.
Oh yeah, Drex, Nagarin, the any kind of cloaking thing, projected stasis field, one of Tucker's favorites.
That's the other thing. I guess he would let you get projected stasis field under Quark on a non-Klingon ship.
But then again, so would Reliant Khan or anything that discounts tech, Calvin Hudson even. I think there's better ways.
Yes, agreed.
But moving on, we've got Captain Morag up next. 2-point Klingon captain with 3 skill. As an action, if your ship is not cloaked, disable all of your remaining shields and target a ship at range 1 to 2 that is not cloaked and has no active shields. Disable 1 upgrade of your choice on the target ship and place an auxiliary power token beside your ship. So,
alright, I'm here!
Tucker!
Oh, God!
Will had to talk loud, and that's when we missed you the most. That's when we knew we were really undergunned.
Right?
It was Ninja Turtles 1. We need Raph.
Can you hear me okay right now?
I can hear you okay. I'm getting a bit of an echo, I think, again, from Joseph's side.
It might
your
be
side.
from mine. So the deal is, I have to have you on speakerphone right now because my car battery died, and I am totally unprepared to do an episode in the car today. But I'm going to have to drive around for a little bit to charge the battery.
Gotcha.
So actually, I might be able to cut down to some of the echo. Just give me a second. I'll figure it out. Anyway, where are we?
We are on Captain Morag.
Remind me what he does?
As an action, he can gank.
Oh.
He disables 1 upgrade of your choice on the target ship, and you place an auxiliary power token beside your ship.
He's like bad, but on the good side of bad, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's repeatable gank, and that's hard to find. I
Yeah,
mean, we're getting it with Arcturus, so maybe it's a thing now. But you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Like, even if he is just disable, not nearly as good as this card, but he might come in handy. The thing is, I don't like the action economy. You versus your opponent, you're using your action on him, your opponent's just going to re-enable it.
Yeah, you're right. His captain skill is really too low to do anything useful. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
If an NX Swarm build ever pops up, its ugly head with all loaded with upgrades, he'll be there. He'll be the last line of defense to stop them.
It's funny. I was just talking about this with somebody the other day. There's a lot of upgrades up there where they're not bad because they in and of themselves are bad. They're bad because the ability they're doing is currently not useful. And this is one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, if we ever get to a point where we need repeatable shields down disable for some unknown reason, this guy will be amazing. But
It would work great with Tribbles, except he's a Klingon.
Womp womp.
I just want to put Tribbles on everything. But yeah.
We know. Trust
So-
me, Will. We know.
Alright, so next up on the chopping block, we have our Klingon Talent, Devotion to Duty. 4-point Klingon Talent. As an action, when attacking with your primary weapon this round, during the roll attack die step, you may discard this card to gain +1 attack die for every damage card assigned to your ship, max +2. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Klingon captain assigned to a Klingon ship.
Okay, so you know how I just said there are abilities that might be good someday, and then there are abilities that are bad because they might be good someday, but they're not now? Then there are abilities that are bad because the abilities are bad, and they will never, ever be good!
Ah, that's what we missed from Tucker.
It's yeah. It's progress from the last Klingon Elite Talent, though, because it doesn't do the damage itself this time.
That's correct.
I
yes.
feel like the last one would have been more useful, though.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Because at least that wasn't an action.
exactly.
This is an action for probably +1 attack die, and we know how we feel about those. But it has restrictions.
And
And the restriction is you need to be losing badly.
You need to be losing, you need to be Klingon, you need to discard the card.
Being Klingon isn't that bad of a deal.
You need to be a Klingon captain assigned to a Klingon ship.
Look, Klingon captains are some of the best quality captains outside of Federation, and Klingon ships have some of the highest attack dice. I mean,
Which ones are we talking about, though? Because if we're talking Worf, he doesn't have a talent. And if we're talking Martok, well, I feel like there's better uses for his action since he's not probably getting an extra one.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. This thing is horrible. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
saying that it is in general is not much of a restriction.
Gotcha. Alright, fair enough. But, this card, don't use it. Tactical Officer. Tactical Officer is a 2-point Klingon crew upgrade. If your ship is not cloaked during the modify attack die step, you may disable this card to reroll all of your blank results once. This upgrade costs +3 squadron points for any non-Klingon ship, and no ship may be equipped with more than one Tactical Officer upgrade. Well, that's interesting. I need to think of
So
something for a second.
I will say this just to start. Currently, the only card in the game that is at all comparable to this is Enterprise Refit Checkoff.
What does he
And
do?
he only lets you reroll all of your blanks for a primary weapon attack.
Correct. Chekhov is 3 points. He says, when attacking with your primary weapon, you may disable this card to reroll all of your blank results once. So,
I mean, we've also got like the starter Federation Worf.
no, but he rerolls all your dice. This guy's just blanks, right?
Yeah.
So the ability to reroll all your dice is not nearly as good as the ability to reroll all your blanks, because effectively that's what you would do with a target lock if you had a battle stations, and if you have like crit, blank, you don't want to reroll those 3 crits. So hence why something like this or Chekhov is desirable in this situation. With that said, most times you're probably going to want Chekhov.
Or for other times, you might just want to take a target lock action.
I mean, yes, if your action economy does not allow you to take a target lock action, this is your second choice after Chekhov. But, I mean, it also works against cloakers if you're in a cloak heavy meta. But, like, yeah.
And Klingon ships want this guy way more than Chekhov. It's
Obviously.
half the points.
And I was going to say, I don't see this guy getting played outside of Klingon ships thanks to the +3 squadron point penalty. I mean, for that, you can get a tactical you can get a Romulan tactical officer.
Yeah, I agree.
And another interesting thing is that you cannot have more than one tactical officer upgrade We have a Romulan tactical officer as well. And don't we have, like, a tactical officer from the Avenger?
Yes, but it's
Yeah.
Orion Tactical Officer. Or no, it's something. It's like Andorian Tactical Officer. It's not. They're not. The Romulan one might be named Tactical Officer, but I don't think the Mirror one is.
The Romulan one is named Tactical Officer. The Mirror Universe, I think you're right, it is Andorian, but it has something. It's Orion. We're
Orion,
so
there you
close.
go. Yeah, it's Andorian Navigator and Orion Tactical Officer. I can never remember which one's which.
Pair this guy with Drex or Nagarin, says Pinecone. It's like, well, yeah, that's fine, but what are you going to do on your second attack?
There are no second attacks for the Klingons.
That is true. Klingons are meant to survive the first round. Most of them don't even do that.
You know,
I've never seen...
Who thinks about second attacks, Will? Patox. That's who thinks about second attacks.
We're not supposed to survive. Charge in with honor. I can't count the number of times I've seen Worf on a ship, and he never got to fire once.
Will you stop bringing that up?
Oh, did that happen in your game, Tucker? Man, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Shut up! If Worf had gotten to fire, that entire game would have been different.
Let's see. Next up on our list, we have Ambassador Kalar. 5-point Klingon upgrade. I guess she wasn't technically really Federation.
No, she was a Klingon ambassador to the Federation. That makes her Klingon.
As an action, discard this card to target a ship at range 1. Your ship cannot attack the target ship, and the target ship cannot attack your ship this round.
Hey, Will, do you hate this ability?
I kind of do, because, you know what? It already exists in the game. Remember Salok from the Scout vessel for the Romulans?
No, and neither does anybody else, which is kind of the point.
Yep.
I've only even seen him played once, and in all the games, and that was very early on too.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody uses provisional government either.
Yeah.
I mean, I used it once in a Bajoran Cure build, but like that was it, and I needed points. So
Yeah, this isn't even attack negation. This is attack redirection. So, and it takes an action. So, on top of something that negates an attack and doesn't take an action, this thing loses every time. I call her this thing, but it's actually a person. I probably should be nicer about that. Klingons are people too, unfortunately. I mean,
she's certainly not good, but where it becomes attack negation again is Dreadnought builds.
Mm-hmm.
but
Against Dreadnought builds. As a Dreadnought build, no.
Yeah. If you only have one ship, and they have to, or one ship in range.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it still doesn't stop all their ships. It just stops their one ship. So we're just gonna say, she sucks. Goodbye.
She does.
Confirm.
All right. Next up on the list, we have we have Concussive Charges and Photon Torpedoes. We've seen these cards before, but these ones are a little different. Concussive Charges. And, well, yeah, we know what Concussive Charges and what Photon Torpedoes do. So, Concussive Charges. Attack target lock, spend your target lock, and place 3 time tokens on this card.
Gas!
What are time tokens?
Somebody hasn't been playing their D&D attack wing, i.e. literally everyone.
For every uncancelled hit or crit result, the target ship loses a token of your choice that has been placed on it by the player area, because most people probably don't even remember what concussive charges do. May be fired from your forward or rear firing arcs. Time tokens. Alright, for those of you who don't know what a time token is, time tokens are basically temporary disabled tokens. They are, however, not disabled tokens. You cannot use an action to remove them. However, one of them comes off of each card that they are on at the end of the turn. So if you have 3 time tokens on this, at the end of that same turn you remove one, so you have 2 turns where you can't use the charges, and then the 3rd turn you'll be able to fire them again. This is one of those things that people have kind of been, tossing around as a suggestion on the forums for since the inception of the game. You know, auto-reloading torpedoes, you don't have to spend your action economy on to get back. The question is, does that make them better? We've got photon torpedoes. And
Not the...
these ones, no.
Yeah. So, in the Dungeons and Dragons attack wing, the weapons that it's on are very viable.
Are very viable and very good. Here they're trying to substitute the time tokens as a mitigation, as if it improved a bad weapon. But in D&D Attack Wing, they're on weapons you already want that you would rather be able to re-enable instead of have a countdown timer on. So in that case, it was weakening strong upgrades. So for comparison's sake, this is like saying that magnetic charges can no longer be disabled, but has to take these time tokens.
Right.
Concussive charges.
No,
I'm saying the equivalent from this is the wrong way to do time tokens. The correct way to do time tokens would be to put them on already strong weapons like magnetometric charges.
Gotcha. Okay, I see what you're saying. So I lost a little bit of that due to reception. I actually have no idea where I am. I'm just driving on the freeway to recharge my battery, so this is exciting. Anyway, yeah. So I agree with everything you're saying, except in as much as we're eventually going to get something that, like, I mean, there's the instant these dropped, the first thing a lot of people said was the Thunderchild is probably going to interact with torpedo time tokens. And I think that's decently likely. Once we have a viable way to get rid of time tokens more easily than we could deal with a disabled weapon upgrade, which is possible but a little bit complex, then they're going to be really good. They're also I think,
torpedoes are not going to be really good.
They might be.
As long as you still need to spend the target lock to fire them, they're not going to be good.
Well, what if you have a way to re-roll them that is not a target lock, Will?
You still have to take an action to target lock to fire them, Tucker.
I know. I'm messing with you.
Yeah, these weapons suck. But hopefully we might get actual better weapons that are overpowered but have to take time tokens to bring them back in line, which would be the proper cue to take from D&D Attack Wing. The question is, do the designers know that?
We'll see.
We'll see what the upcoming few years, I hope, right?
Well, let me put it this way. There's another card in this pack that makes me slightly optimistic on that front.
Knowing the designers, I think that it's more likely that the Thunderchild and the other one have a card that lets you disable a weapon by putting time counters on it, which is going to be bad for mags, that's for sure. That's groundless speculation.
Groundless speculation. It doesn't exist. It's not going to happen. We don't have to worry about it. Ever. Yes. Anything else to talk about the time tokens on these particular weapons? 4-point and 5-point torpedoes. I mean, I guess you could stack 3 sets of concussive charges on a ship if you really wanted to.
Something Sakona something?
Between Sakona, the Klingon captain here, and the fleet captain, you could have 3 sets of these all for free.
I mean, I guess maybe there are reasons somebody out there might want to do that. I don't know what they would be.
That is true. I mean, concussive charges are actually not a bad weapon. They just haven't been viable enough.
Well, what it is there are no tokens as of yet that are so incredibly dangerous that you need concussive charges to get rid of them. Adaptation tokens haven't seen a lot of play. 7 of 9 hasn't seen a lot of play.
Those aren't the ones that would get removed by it. This is the one. This removes from this beside your ship. So the only ones it removes are battle stations, target lock, evade, and cloak.
At the very least, it would remove multi-vector assault tokens because those go beside your ship. Will
that would be true? Yes.
I mean, and
That's weird.
well,
Trying
no,
to picture.
it's like they're-
Oh no, I know it's not. I know it's in game mechanics. It's fine, but I hit you with concussive charges. All of a sudden, your ship combines back together to form Voltron.
No, I explode concussive charges in the middle of space, and your attack pattern is so disrupted that your multi-vector attack is ineffective.
Eh.
You know what to say, Will. Shut up.
Shut up, Tucker. I don't say shut up, Tucker. Tucker's the one that says shut up.
I
That's
know.
my catchphrase. Will's catchphrase is oh.
My catchphrase is do 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 do.
No, it's do. It's a very particular one.
Yeah. All right. So last card we have in this pack that also uses time counters. We have Cryogenic Stasis. It's a unique tech.
And it got nerfed before it was even released.
It's better than some of the other things that they've been doing. At least at least they're catching it a little quicker this time. But 5-point Klingon tech upgrade. At the start of the game, place 2 non-Borg crew upgrades with a cost of 5 or less combined face down beneath this card.
Fine, that was a nerf.
Yep. Action. Flip one of the upgrades that is beneath this card face up, your choice, and deploy it to your ship, even if it exceeds your ship's restrictions. That's always good. Then place 2 time tokens on that upgrade. Discard this card when there are no more upgrades beneath it.
Okay, Joseph, what is this awesome with?
Conditional surrender.
Conditional surrender!
And the nerf doesn't really affect that really in any meaningful way. So it's really good for this. This morning I could have talked for probably 20 minutes about this card. Tonight it's still interesting, and its main use is with conditional surrender now. As long as Will and I were talking about it before the show, we're sure that the face down crew don't get discarded with conditional surrender, right?
I'm pretty sure I remember a ruling in the past that was after Worf was founded that said that face down cards can now only be affected by the card that placed them face down.
Well, then that does it.
Mm-hmm. So if for some reason like
Not deployed to your ship.
Right.
But this also applies to things like Kirk back in the day, where technically they were kind of deployed to a ship, but not really. I don't know. Uh-oh.
Well, that Tucker's screen just went dark.
Oh, good. You're still here, Joseph. Okay, I thought for a sudden that, all of a sudden the internet went out again.
He's back.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here. But yeah, like we're just talking like Kirk was never said that you don't deploy it to your ship until you flip it face up. They were just face down, kind of like him, Tanalos, who also had things face down and things like that.
Oh, can you hear me? Oh my god.
We can hear you a little bit. Can you hear us?
Me now. Hello?
That's a very old commercial there, Tucker.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I see what's going on.
You could fire concussive charges at a friendly ship to clear its energy dampening token. Unfortunately, that is a D&D thing and not a Star Trek thing, Pinecone. You can only attack enemies in Star Trek Attack Wing.
Attack friendly ship.
Unless it's something specific like a mine. And even then, it's kind of iffy. But, yeah. Cryogenic Stasis. What are we going to take with it? I like Brunt. Brunt's always useful.
Yeah, and that's only 2 points. I mean, what's the cost at the door for conditional surrender with this? 4 most likely for conditional surrender, and 6 for this.
Mm-hmm.
So for 10 points, it can go on any ship with a tech slot, and you can have Picard as your captain instead of Wayun and or Sopek.
Mm-hmm. You get two attack negations just from this. A third one because you'll probably have another crew to start with.
That's right. Yeah, so 12 points, let's say, or 11, but...
Mm-hmm. 11 points for 3 attack negations. That's the same deal. That's exactly the same deal you get with Varel for 1 attack negation.
And as you're very fond of saying, you only really need to
Can you hear
do something like that 3 or 4 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't hear you, Tucker.
What?
We can hear you.
Okay. Good. Sorry. I realize that I keep asking you over and over, but it seems like every time I ask you, it's fine, and then every time I try to say something, it's not.
Your phone is censoring you, Tucker.
That's entirely possible.
Siri's out to get you. I don't even know what phone you have.
I do have an iPhone. That is correct. How do you not know what phone I have? You spent like 3 days watching me stare at it for hours on end.
I was kind of preoccupied. Like, Joseph can vouch for me that I got maybe 2 hours of sleep each night.
Okay, that's fair.
At best.
Okay.
Assuming I didn't like keep them up in the middle of the night while I'm sitting here on my phone doing fleets between 2 and 6 in the morning. I think I still have like 15 fleets in here just from working at Origins.
I know how you feel. You should see my fleet lists that are titled Battle Station.
Nice. Yeah, that's gonna do it for the Tong. Anything else we want to talk about it before we move on?
Cryostasis makes the Dauntless playable.
Oh, because I can actually get crew slots on it now. That's nice.
Right? You can get more than like 2 or 3. Yeah.
You can cryostasis and cold storage. I can have weapons, tech, and crew.
Yeah,
Of course, cold storage still sucks. Sorry, Joseph.
Activating it gets you those tokens you need.
That's a good point.
It's not
I mean,
bad in that way.
Yeah, but if you're using cryostasis and cold weapon storage, you're at 2 tech, 2 weapon, 2 crew, and you're the Prometheus. Except worse.
With a garbage attack rating.
And no
Indeed.
ability to dorsal phase or array.
Yes.
Alright, so that's the end of the Tong. Hey, David, I see you over there. To hear more, listen to Warp Core Breach podcast. Look at you pushing your own podcast on our show. Look at this guy in the chat. You don't even have an episode 1 yet, you petak.
Actually, on...
Ha! Link deletion automatic. Sorry. I'll fix that one of these days.
No.
Well, Tucker.
Tucker sounds like he's talking into a fan, so I think that's the sign to move on to the Bellerophon.